Now, many international students have no idea how to transition to permanent residency after finishing their studies. Honestly, they often waste precious time on the wrong strategy, and by the time they realize the correct pathway, it might be too late for them. We started talking about Ontario and Alberta in my last video. Today we'll walk through all the major PR pathways for international graduates in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, focusing on fast and cost-effective options. We'll also include the timelines, real-life examples, and a comparison to help you choose the best route. So stick around because this is very detailed, professional, and also full of insider tips. So please grab a pen and paper because I'll be giving you some very important information that you would want to jot down. We will start with Manitoba. Manitoba offers one of the fastest PR pathways for those who study in the province. The Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, the NPNP, has an international education stream, the IES, that is designed especially for international student graduates. If you graduated from a designated Manitoba post-secondary institution, you have 3 dedicated pathways under the IES. The first one is the Career Employment Pathway. This is for graduates who have a long-term job offer in Manitoba in an in-demand occupation related to their studies. For example, after completing a 2-year diploma at Red River College, Michael secured a job in IT with a 2-year contract. He applied through the Career Employment Pathway with CLB7 English, and Manitoba nominated him for PR within a few months. So you can apply as soon as you have a qualifying job offer, and nominations often come within months, and after that you can start the federal PR process. The second pathway is the Graduate Internship Pathway. This one is for master's or PhD graduates in Manitoba who have completed a qualifying MITAX Accelerate or Elevate Research Internship. No job offer is required. You can apply immediately upon graduation if you did a MITAX internship during your program. This stream is a golden ticket for researchers because it offers fast nomination and very minimal work delay. The third one is the International Student Entrepreneur Pilot, the ISEP. This one is for graduates who want to start a business in Manitoba. You must have completed a 2+ year program in Manitoba and then operate a business for at least 6 months on a temporary work permit. If you meet your business plan goals, you get nominated for PR. Please note that there are only 20 spots a year. This pathway is more complex, requiring a solid business plan, 51% ownership, and you have to be aged between 21 to 35. You also need a CLB7 language score. Now, even though this is great for entrepreneurs, it's not the typical choice for most students. So, what if you studied outside Manitoba? Do you have any chance for PNP in Manitoba? Well, Manitoba's IES is only for those who graduated in Manitoba. If you graduated in another province and then moved to Manitoba, you cannot use the International Education Stream, the IES. Instead, you may qualify under the Skilled Worker in Manitoba streams, which usually requires you to work in Manitoba for a period of time and have a long-term job. Now, say for example, you got a bachelor's in Ontario, but you found a job in Winnipeg after graduation. After securing a permanent job and working 12 months on your postgraduate work permit, you would enter the Manitoba Skilled Worker Pathway. It's a viable route, but not as fast as the IES. So, in summary, if you study in Manitoba, take advantage of the IES. Ensure your program is at least 1 year long and aim to get a job in an in-demand field or do a MITAX internship for the Graduate Internship Pathway. Manitoba's system uses an expression of interest or EOI, and this means that you submit an expression of interest and may get a letter of advice to apply, also called an LAA. After LAA, you have 60 days to apply with a $500 application. Manitoba nominations are highly valuable because they are tailored for graduates and they are relatively quick. Manitoba does issue work permit support letters if you need it. Now let's move to Saskatchewan, the breadbasket of Canada. Saskatchewan's Immigrant Nominee Program, the SINP, also welcomes international graduates, but with a focus on those who are interested in putting down roots in Saskatchewan. In early 2025, the SINP tightened its rules. They now say that only graduates from Saskatchewan DLIs who then work in Saskatchewan are eligible under the student category. Essentially, Saskatchewan wants you to study there and stay to work there. As a Saskatchewan graduate, you must have finished a certificate, diploma, or degree from a Saskatchewan post-secondary institution. After graduating or even during studies, you need to accumulate at least 6 months paid work experience in Saskatchewan in your field. You then need a permanent full-time job offer in your field from a Saskatchewan employer in NOCDID Tier 0, 1, 2, or 3, or a designated trade. Also, the employer has to obtain an SIMP job approval letter for that position. You also need language test scores. Graduates from other provinces, as Canadian graduates outside Saskatchewan, would qualify under the International Skilled Workers Employment Offer Pathway. For this one, you need to have an offer for a skilled job in Saskatchewan and you intend to reside in Saskatchewan as a permanent resident. You still must work 6 consecutive months in Saskatchewan in your field before applying. All the other criteria are the same as what we already just discussed. Note that for both Manitoba and Saskatchewan, I will leave the links to their provincial nominee programs below so you can go see the details of everything I'm talking about. Now let me give you an example. Mabel got a bachelor's in British Columbia, but she struggled to get PR there. So she moved to Saskatchewan on a PGWP and worked 8 months as an accounting clerk, which is a NOC-B job in Regina. Now, with that experience and a job offer from her employer to stay permanently, she applied to SINP. She needed an IELTS result because her role was not NOC 0 or A, and she was nominated under the Students Outside Saskatchewan substream. So apparently, if you schooled at a DLI outside Saskatchewan, you can still qualify. With regards to timeline, the SIMP often processes nomination applications in just a few weeks to a couple of months for the experience category, since the demand is manageable. After nomination, Mabel applied for PR under the paper-based, which took about 18 months, during which she continued working on her extended work permits. I believe that this explanation is clear enough. If not, please just rewind and watch it again. And of course, you can save the video so you can refer to this later when you need to understand it. And if you love the video and you are gaining value, please leave a like, subscribe, and share with a friend. If you are familiar with the SIMP, you know that Saskatchewan used to have a separate stream for Masters and PhD graduates from University of Saskatchewan or University of Regina with lower work experience requirements. However, the current SIMP student category has essentially merged everyone together with a 6-month work requirement. So even if you have a master's or PhD from Saskatchewan, unless the SIMP brings back that special stream, you will still need a job and some work experience. But the good news is that a master's or PhD graduate is likely to land a skilled job quickly, but plan to stay in Saskatchewan after graduating to accumulate that 6 months work so you don't miss the window. Saskatchewan sometimes has caps on certain occupations. As of 2025, they announced a cap around 25% of nominations on jobs in food service, retail, and trucking for the student category, and that cap has already been met. That means that if your job offer is food and beverage server, for example, you actually cannot use the student category as of the time of making this video. SIMP directs those cases to a different stream like the skilled worker with existing work permits. So please always check SIMP updates. They publish if certain job categories are closed for the year. Always check their website. As per cost, it's exciting to say that the SIMP does not charge an application fee for the student subcategory. It's free to apply. Your employer does pay a small fee for the job approval process, but that's on them, not you. So Saskatchewan's pathway is quite cost effective. You will still need to show settlement funds if you are not working, but if you have a full-time job in Saskatchewan by then there's no need for settlement funds. So in summary, study in Saskatchewan if possible and try to get a related job before or right after graduation. Just a survival job won't qualify unless it's related to what you studied and it requires post-secondary education. The 6-month experience can include part-time work during studies, which is great, especially if you were a co-op student. This means that proactive students can finish school and already have 780 hours of work clocked in, making them almost eligible for this stream because of that work experience that they've gathered. Processing time is fast for nomination, and SINP currently uses a paper-based federal process, so expect around 12 months plus for PR after nomination. Overall, the SINP is a friendly option for students at all education levels as long as you stay and work in Saskatchewan. Finally, let's compare the key features of these two provinces side by side so you can see which province might be the best fit for you. Now, both these provinces accept all post-secondary levels, certificate, diploma, degree, master's, PhD, for their student streams. Manitoba and Saskatchewan treat all graduates similarly, but Manitoba gives an advantage if you have a master's or PhD with research under MyTax. Saskatchewan used to have a separate master's PhD stream, but it is not currently active. Both PNPs require intent to reside in the nominating province, which is normal. Manitoba and Saskatchewan strongly favor those who studied and worked in the province, which is normal again. Manitoba and Saskatchewan can nominate you in just weeks to a few months after you become eligible, unlike Alberta and Ontario, whose nominations usually take a couple of months due to the volume that they have. Now, I know I threw a lot of information at you, but please save this video so you can come back to it when you need to. It's very important, and you can always book a one-on-one session to speak with me. The link to make your booking is in the description, and I'll also put it in the pinned comments. So finally, let me give you one piece of advice like I did in the last video. Start planning your PR pathway early, even before graduation, even before coming to Canada. Research the specific requirements of the province that you're studying in. Attend information sessions, keep copies of all your documents, and if needed, improve your language scores while you're still in the study mode as a student. Many students delay, and then they rush when their work permit is almost expired. Avoid that stress by having a PR roadmap already ready. By understanding the detailed steps and the requirements that we just outlined, you can become one of the PR success stories, transitioning from international student to Canadian permanent residency smoothly without wasting time on the wrong pathways. Now tell me what province you want me to talk about next. Drop it in the comments now. Good luck on your journey to PR, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.